Okay, we're good. Okay.
Is this how you want us?
Yeah, just like kind of cozy and chill.
We're here to talk to you about twin flaming.
Yeah, we met on Twin Flames.
We have an ebook.
Just kidding, we're not.
Ebook.
Is this focused? Hi, my name's Michaela, and this is
Kevin.
And we're actually here to talk about our journey moving from Los Angeles, California to
Georgia.
So why don't we start off with why we moved in the first place?
So we moved because it was pretty crazy in LA. There was a lot of crime happening near us. A lot of homeless encampments committing crime near us. People, just regular people. Everyone's on edge. Everyone's like, "Hey, what's up? It's LA. It's nice and sunny, but I'll stab you if you fucking get near me. I have pepper spray." So you just have to live by that mentality. Like, I was hyper vigilant there. I'm very hyper vigilant already, but more so there because I'm like, shit could pop off anywhere. I didn't like my job too much either.
What were you doing?
I was housing homeless people, the homeless population, veterans.
So it was just like we'd get it from like around us, and then you'd come home with these horror stories of just fuckery and debauchery and the things.
Yeah.
So we were in it thick.
Yeah.
Thick. We have a child as well, so being around that with a kid is not very fun at all. I feel like LA was fun when I didn't have a family. And then once I started kind of settling down and getting a family, we kind of had this moment where we were like, we could either move further out so we can move into a bigger apartment and be in a safer area, or we could move to a different state and buy a house.
And buy an actual house. And that's where it was just like, man, that'd be nice to own a home. And that's where we've been since then.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
And it's been something.
Are we technically in escrow right now?
Yeah, we're still under escrow.
Yeah, so yeah. We're not even there yet. We're jumping ahead. So we finally decided that we were going to move out of LA. And this was after tossing and turning for about a year and about a year, I feel like. Or maybe 6 months. How long do you reckon we tossed and turned? I don't know. It was so crazy, guys. It was like one day LA was really fun, and then it was like it just wasn't cool anymore. All of a sudden it was like I just couldn't unsee all of the filth and shit. I think for me, when we went to visit your friend in Washington, and I just was like, oh fuck, I forgot about the suburbs and I forgot about just cleanliness.
Yeah.
And then we started, I don't know, just traveling, not outside of the country, but just within America, and realizing, fuck, LA is it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's fun, but I don't know, living there is different.
Yeah, for me too, seeing like money wise, once I started to get good money, and then I was like, well, let's just live like we live here, let's just be LA people. We're spending like $4,000 a month out.
Eating, having a good old time, which is, fun, but...
Yeah, but eating is not just eating. Eating is parking. Eating is
yes.
tip. Eating is a lot more.
It really is.
Eating is not just going out. There's also not very many kids menus at the places we went to eat. So Oscar just had to get whole ass meals. Sometimes they were more than ours, and we didn't even realize it.
One time we got charged $20 for adding meatballs to his kids' pasta. I was like, $20 for 2 meatballs? Mm-mm. Where?
Any Italian restaurants near the Grove is still basically mall food.
Yeah.
It just costs a lot to do anything. Anything we do.
Yeah, and you were making good money. Like, I wasn't working, but Kevin was, and you were making really good money, and we were still, like, we weren't struggling, but it was like, damn, like
we were saving, we were planning trips, we were able to do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if we wanted to live safer, we couldn't really do that.
Like, one of the things that we used to do, we don't do it anymore, but we used to walk our son to school, and it used to be really nice, but after a while, all the tents and just the people around. And I don't know, it was just a lot. Like one day we were walking back home from school and a guy just robbed every car on our way back home. Like every single car. And you guys, I feel like we weren't living in like a crazy area, but it was just that kind of area where it was like, I feel like there was half the people were living that lifestyle and then the other half were actual just families.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. It was interesting, but we also weren't willing to move further because we kind of I feel like we loved K-Town. You know, there was like, we loved it, but then it was like, damn, it's just like there's fuck shit going on all the time. I don't want Oscar to grow up like that.
It's really not a place for kids.
And then if we moved further out, then you'd have to commute to work, which is like, you know, that sounds like a small thing, but that adds another, depending on how far we ended up moving out, that could add like 4 hours to your day.
Yeah, that's
with
basically
traffic.
Just a part of being a LA person is you have to know that most of your day is going to be spent in traffic or more time than you want to be. And at the end of the day, like I was born and raised there, so I've always dealt with traffic. I'm over it. You know, I've been in small towns when I was in the Army where there was no traffic, and I like that. That's why when I moved, I opted to move walking distance from my job because I was not trying to drive as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even then, it took me as long to skateboard to work as it did to drive because of traffic.
So we decided to say our goodbyes to our friends and family in LA and move to Georgia.
We did it.
We are broadcasting live from my mother's couch.
Yes.
But it's okay because we're about to get into a house.
Yeah.
So it's testing our patience a lot. But here we are on that journey.
We're doing it.
It's a journey.
It's been crazy.
We packed up all our stuff. We didn't get like a tow truck or anything not a tow truck. What am I trying to say? A moving van.
U-Haul?
A U-Haul. We didn't get a
Yeah.
U-Haul. We brought our Hyundai Kona 2023 motherfucking electric car. Dragged that bitch all the way to Georgia.
Another lesson learned.
Don't you ever do that. Okay?
They don't really like to commercialize the fact that you cannot travel in an electric car. The fact that you hit a hill and you're losing 5 extra miles. The fact that you are going to have to stop every 150, at least 150 miles. Sometimes less, sometimes 90 miles. To charge for 20 minutes to an hour if there's other people there.
And if it's cold, it goes down. We chose to do this drive in the wintertime, not realizing that we weren't going to be able to get a full charge in the winter. So yeah, we had to stop every 150 miles and charge for at least 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, which ended up adding how many days to our trip?
Days.
Yeah.
We probably could have done that trip realistically in 3 days, just taking our time. It took us 6 with us just stopping to sleep 3 times. Well, 3 nights.
Yeah.
Like we slept, but it just was ridiculous. It was crazy.
Didn't you have a friend that left after us and still got there before us?
Wow, he got back to Texas well before we even hit where he was at.
We were still in Arizona, and he's like,
That was
I'm
so
home.
crazy.
It was, it was fun just for the adventure. We did it, and then we got to Georgia with hopes and plans to settle near my mom.
And Buc-ee's.
Oh, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's. How could I forget about Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's was good. And we had a crab boil.
Yes, and a crab boil in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was delicious. Oscar was really excited about that. Really funny photo.
We like Buc-ee's.
What was your favorite thing that you got at Buc-ee's?
That brisket. The brisket's great.
Yeah.
Brisket's really good. I mean, nothing there is like, whoa, that's crazy. Actually, I don't know. Their banana pudding. Their loaded baked potato salad.
Ooh.
That was
yeah,
good.
that was good.
That was so good. Their barbecue's not like... The barbecue's really good, actually. But it's not something I would be like, whoa.
I think it's good for a gas station.
Oh, it's phenomenal for a gas station.
And the variety that they have is just unmatched. I think that's the thing. That's the appeal to Buc-ee's is that it's like the fucking Walmart of gas stations.
The bathrooms are clean.
I haven't been.
Clean that, like amazingly clean. It feels really nice. If that was a place in LA, they would find a way to charge you to use it. There's no way you would be able to use a bathroom that clean for free in Los Angeles. Like straight up.
I really want to go to the bathroom there now.
It was like a fucking emporium. Very spacious. You get your own space to poop. And like there's so many stalls.
Is it like the gas station pumps? Is it like the pumps? How they have so many pumps? They've got so many stalls.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
I was don't ask me how I got here, but I read some Reddits about like the reason why their bathrooms are so clean is because they have people that only go in to do the bathroom. So they have people that only do the bathroom, but those people were on Reddit and they shared their horror stories about those bathrooms. They were like, man, you ain't seen nothing until you've cleaned a fucking gas station bathroom. And I'm just like, damn. And then someone in that comment section was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put my hand up and be like, I've been one of those people before. I had to shit myself real bad, run into the toilet. I didn't quite make it, so I splatted on the back. Oh. So sorry for taking it there, but that's where my brain went.
Really? That's crazy. But I know I can see that happening. I be following TikTokers and Instagrammers who are truckers, and they be eating crazy. They be eating so wild. This dude does this whole he always does a ramen, but sometimes he'll put like a whole 36-inch sausage in that bitch. Oh god! Stuff it with cheese and then make it super spicy.
Oh my god!
And he'll at least crack some egg.
That shit's got to go out somewhere.
Yeah,
and hopefully it's out at Buc-ee's, because then it's gonna be really nice.
Man, don't be fucking them bathrooms up. I like it there.
I know. Well, they have someone there to make sure you don't ever see that shit.
Oh, there's two people in there.
Yeah,
there's two people.
And that's all that they do that whole time. And I hope that they get paid more. They should be the highest paid people up in that bitch.
We should go to tipping. I would tip a bathroom person, and if I fucked a bathroom up.
Yeah, right.
Go clean it,
I feel that. Just I'm so sorry. There you go. I hope there's a process or a procedure where it's just hose it down, mop, where you don't have to wipe anything, I don't know. Anyways, I'm thinking about it.
I guarantee you they got them long boots, rubber boots. Oof. I'm putting on those boots.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting on those boots. Yes. I'm putting on big old gloves.
I'm putting on a face mask.
Walking in the clouds of fart and poop.
Yeah. So Buc-ee's is great. Oh, so another thing that I wanted to say about the electric cars and driving cross country is that we never had a problem with charging. We always found a charger. The problem is that chargers are not always at places where you can go to the bathroom. Most chargers were at Walmart, but Walmarts aren't 24 hours anymore, thanks to COVID. Hey.
What up?
Hey, so we're back. I remember when we were in Texas. Remember we went to Texas? We were in Texas and we had to charge. And it was just the charging station was in front of what it looked like an abandoned hotel.
That was a couple times we were out. There's 2 times we went to charge where the hotel, this shit was in the back lot of the parking lot for the hotel. So if you, in the middle of nowhere, so if you have to go to the bathroom, too fucking bad, unless that hotel lets you. Mm-hmm. There's nowhere just go have a walk. It was fucking 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Bad idea. You're basically just only keeping that for the people who are supposed to be at that hotel, but it's no, it's just not a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, it was kind of funny. See, you kind of get to know the people that are also in an electric car traveling where you're going, because you start to stop at the same stops, kind of thing. I feel like there was a dude that we were just riding together, stopping at the same time.
Yeah,
for a while.
It doesn't matter what car you have. If it's electric and you're going across country, you're gonna have to stop every 100 to 150 miles, because then the next stop isn't for about another 100 to 250 miles. And so basically you're not going to go 200 miles at once. You hit a hill, you're losing 50 miles. It's cold, you need heat, you losing like 70 miles.
Yeah.
So realistically, you're just stopping every fucking time. And I might be wrong. Maybe Teslas are different, but there was a Rivian who was with us who had to stop at every stop. There's just a lot of different electric vehicles that were traveling with us and had to stop just as much as we did.
We saw an electric truck, and didn't he say he lost hella miles like pulling weight?
Yep, he had a
What's the
Rivian
point?
truck. I really like the Rivian trucks, but once he told me like, oh yeah, once you put on a tow, you lose half your power immediately. Then what? You could just tow what? Inner city?
Right?
I could tow your shit from South LA to North LA. Not even North
And then
LA.
I got to charge on my way back.
I'm charging in the Burbank.
Right? Why don't we get into the house situation?
Let's.
So we moved because we wanted to buy a house, and that wasn't going to happen anytime soon in California or in LA or in Koreatown. That wasn't happening. So that was a big reason why we relocated to the South. The top 2 places in America right now that Californians are relocating is, I think, Texas and the Carolinas. I think North Carolina. Ain't
nothing wrong with North Carolina.
And I totally get that. I totally understand. We are too that group of people. There's also a lot of people coming to Georgia too.
Yes, there is a lot. They are the number 1 or number 2 people that are moving to specifically this area are Californians, and then like New Yorkers.
But I think the number 1 thing that we didn't realize that we were going to have to pay for in this process was multiple inspections, appraisal, your insurance, and property taxes a year in advance, and the closing costs.
But we're using a VA home loan, so we don't have to put anything down. But that there's a really big misconception, at least for me and the people, my circle of veterans, is that you can get into a house with 0 down. And that's just not the case at all. There is a possibility that you will not have to put much down, but you're gonna put something down. Because as soon as you put down that offer and it gets accepted, then a home inspection needs to get done. That home inspection is gonna run you $3,600. Then an appraisal is necessary, especially through the VA. They send their own appraisal. You're paying $650 off the bat. Then all of that other stuff factors into the end, the underwriting, all that shit.
Earnest money.
Yes,
so here's a
huge,
that's the first thing. And that's what nobody talks about.
You gotta put in
earnest money. Doesn't matter what kind of loan you have to give them. What did we give them?
Well, earnest money is typically 1% of the house,
yeah,
but it's negotiable. Because I've heard people be like, why'd you put so much down? And we're like, well, that's 1%. They're like, well, you don't have to do that. So and that's another thing that is a big misconception, or maybe I just didn't know, is that there's a lot of negotiating. There's a lot of room to negotiate. And then it gets all put on paper and everyone signs, everyone agrees, and that's law. It's really not clear cut. We'll see here in a sec. It's just not. So, yes, earnest money, inspection, then the appraisal. And if everything goes good, then you can close. And then you have to pay closing costs. Typically, closing costs are on the buyer. But there's like I said, there's negotiations. You can always negotiate for the seller to pay closing costs,
or give you credits,
or some credits or something. There's also so if you say the house gets appraised for $250, but you have an agreement already in place and signed to get $240, or you negotiate and say, hey, appraised for $250, but if you bring it down to $240, I'll be able to factor in my closing costs into the loan. The seller's cool enough, then they let you do that. It's rare though, because they're losing $10K. They're still losing $10K somewhere. $10K's going somewhere. Then you don't have to factor. So if you get lucky enough to get a house that's appraised for more than you're buying it for, then you can factor in your closing costs into your loan. That is a way that you won't have to pay as much. But keep in mind, you've already put down 1% of the earnest money, which if you factor it into your loan, you're closing into your loan, you will get that earnest money back. So that could be refundable. Could be. It's not a guarantee. Mm-hmm. And there's just a lot of things that could happen. It's crazy. There's so many things that could just happen to change things, put a stop. Now a new agreement needs to be put in place. I get it. It's pretty complicated.
Yeah. And I feel like all the things that our lender told us wouldn't happen to us happened. I remember when we were waiting for the appraisal, because the appraisal, you guys, I just want to say, the highs and lows that you go through buying a house, especially your first one, is extreme. So just be easy on yourself, because one day you're going to get some good news and the next day you're going to get some not so good news, and then the next day it'll be good, and then it's just like up and down. But I remember our lender saying, oh, before we were waiting on the appraisal, or while we were waiting on the appraisal, he was like, look, if it's appraised, look, you got the loan in for this amount, but if it's appraised for under that, then we're gonna have to renegotiate. He was like, it's usually not, it's usually over, and you'll be good, blah 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 blah. Well, the appraisal came lower than their asking price, so we had to go back to the table and renegotiate. Like, they're only gonna pay for what it's worth.
Right, the VA is only going to fund whatever the house gets appraised for. The seller's most likely to go down because hey, that's what your house is worth.
Yeah.
Once I read the full report and how much they put into doing an appraisal, I mean, it's a lot of research. It's a lot. So
it's really cool.
I liked reading that report. The home
report.
inspection too. I enjoyed that. Those were really interesting things. Like, damn, these people do this for a job. It's kind of dope.
Right. And just vaguely, I know there's other situations where my aunties, they were going to buy a townhome in this up and coming area for this amount that they agreed on. But then after the appraisal, the seller backed out because it came in higher, and they didn't want to sell it to them at that price anymore, and they couldn't negotiate at a price. So they backed out. So, I don't
think your family was willing to pay for that.
No, they weren't. They weren't going to pay for it.
More. So things like that shit happens probably a lot.
Yeah.
And it's happening with us.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go through emotions when you get that inspection back. Inspection's going to tell you about the house, like things that you just didn't see.
And so you can negotiate then too.
Yep, you can negotiate then too.
There's going to be repairs that are needed. So are you going to fix them, or are you going to come down on the price? You're going to give me credits? It's a lot. So it's kind of good to have this, to know this kind of stuff. Your realtor should be taking care of you and doing all this, but I think for my own mental security, just knowing these things, the next time I buy a house I'll be more prepared, and it won't be as emotional, because my emotions were running because I was in the dark. We were in the dark. We didn't know what the fuck was happening, or we didn't know what was happening.
I think a lot of that had to do with us being at home, back at my mom's house. The pressure of wanting to just like get out. I think that added to the emotions of wanting to, because it's not like we're not moving into a house from an apartment or another home. We're moving from my mom's couch.
Right. That would have been
which is a blessing.
Different. It would have been very different if if I was in this state already had the job I had been working, and I would just still be working. I would be working. We were looking at houses on the weekend. That's not the case.
Nope.
We literally came here, and I'm we're living off of a budget right now, because where we're staying compared to where we're trying to buy a house is really far away. There's a big gap. So me looking for jobs here at first, then I was looking at jobs way over there. Now it's just jobs. I've had a couple interviews, but let them slip through because they were here. So that's some things most people probably won't have to deal with. Most likely you're going to buy a place within your same state, so you don't have to quit your job and completely move. But that's just something we're doing. So we're in a special type of purgatory, a little bit of a limbo, where we're just waiting, and not a whole lot of progress really can be made. We can start making progress, but there's a chance that we might end up over there now, or something's going to happen and we don't know where we're going to go. So
yeah, because we weren't necessarily, when we first moved here, we were going to live around where my mom and family lives and stuff, but we just can't afford it. And that's okay. Like, I feel like that's another blessing in disguise. We were very adamant, I think, on what we wanted. We didn't want to live in an apartment just to be in a certain area, just to, have access to certain things. We're absolutely okay with making certain sacrifices to have the space that we want.
And once again, like I said, we moved here. If I had been working here already, we could afford a house here. Yeah. But since we moved here, in order to find work and employment that the loan is going to even accept and count as income, it's just not going to happen. Yeah. Because they're going to want something that's still along the lines of what I was already doing, and it's going to have to be like I'll have to work it for a certain amount of time, kind of thing. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Right. Okay. So I'm about to switch over this battery, but when we come back, Oh shit. Okay. That's a real estate agent. That's so funny. I get nervous every time he texts Kevin. Anyways, I'm gonna switch this battery, but then we're gonna talk about what happened on the day the day before we thought we were gonna close, and on our final walkthrough. We'll be right back. Okay. Fully charged battery, ready to go. Okay, so it's been it's been a couple of months now.
We got here on the 6th.
We got here on the 6th of January. We signed the contract on the 29th of January.
Our first, we sent our first offer January 29th.
What's the date now?
Today's the 21st of March.
Yeah, and we were originally supposed to close on
Valentine's Day. But
what happened?
So there was a little delay in some repairs. So then everyone said we're going to close on that Friday, so the 16th. And so the day after Valentine's Day, we went to do our final walkthrough, which is just, hey, make sure that everything's still the way it was and the repairs are good. We checked out the repairs that they did do and they were good. Fixed some stuff, some stairs, some wall stuff. It was pretty minor. And then we went into the basement. We were just walking around the house. We went into the basement and it was completely flooded. And we have a finished basement.
Yes, actually, baby, can I cut you off for a second? Can you say we walked into the basement again, and then I'm going to just say, and I'm going to show you exactly, because I actually have footage of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we walked into the basement.
And this is what happened. I actually have, I'll show you right now. The next clip is exactly what happened.
And then, so it was flooded. So obviously we couldn't close because the house wasn't in the same condition as when we bought it. So they just said, hey, we're going to fix it up. We were like, we backed out.
At first, we thought it was a sign from God that this was the house for us.
So we backed out. We backed out pretty quick. Then we had some issues with the broker and getting our earnest money back because of the way we backed out, and just some paperwork BS. But at the end of the day, we would have got it back.
Yeah.
Because what happens is whenever there's a dispute over the earnest money, the broker kind of gives a 10-day notice for everyone to chime in and be like, why do you think the buyer should get this money? Why do you think the seller should get this money? Typically, the buyer, since the buyer is the one who put in that earnest money, they should get it back. But there are certain circumstances, like if you kind of just back out in the middle of nowhere where you wasted, that seller's time, that seller's money, they have to relist now. Mm-hmm. So they have the opportunity to claim that money. And they tried. I think at the end of the day, we would have gotten it back. But we thought about it some more, gave it a week, and we tried to look at a few other places in this area where we're at. And because of where we're at, we were only going to be able to afford townhomes with HOAs, and they were going to be just as expensive, if not a little more expensive, than the 1 acre, 3-bedroom home we were going to buy. So it was just really hard for me to put that to a good perspective. I just didn't see it in my mind where that felt good.
Yeah.
We had a whole acre of land, 43,560 square feet of land. And we were now looking at 1,400 square feet townhomes with no parking and HOA.
Shit was rough.
For like 5 to 10K more than the house. So it didn't feel good. I didn't like it. Everything I looked at up until the house in Macon looked like a huge, just looked like I was going to have to settle. Just looked like I was going to have to settle for less than what I wanted. So Macon, the place where we were at, kind of checked all those boxes for me. So we decided to get back in and say, hey, the plan for the seller was they're gonna fix it anyway and put it back on. They have to sell it. They're selling it, so we can still buy it. So that's what we did.
But they're paying for the
Right.
the fixing
They
it up.
said, hey, we'll completely get the basement back to its original condition. Mm-hmm. We put it on paper, and that was it.
And I just want to let you guys know that the basement was a really big deal because that was the most updated part of the house. This is a bit of a fixer-upper. The upstairs needs work. The kitchen needs work. Everywhere kind of needs work. But the downstairs was actually perfect because fully renovated, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a little kitchenette and a balcony. So we could live down there while we renovate upstairs. And then when we saw that it was flooded, the one place we were just planning on actually living in the house, it just we just were like, what the frick? This isn't meant to be. But it was. The blessing in that was that we saw that before we bought the house. That was the blessing.
That was the blessing because if we would have actually signed on Valentine's Day, I don't think it started raining until after. So that flooding would have came in days after we signed and got our keys. That would have sucked. Granted, we would have been covered by homeowners insurance. I'm pretty sure a flooding deductible is expensive, and it would have been a lot, and our premium would have most likely gone up.
Yeah.
So it was very much so a blessing in disguise. We were looking at other possibilities, but we just didn't see anything too catchy. So we decided to stick with that.
And we love this house. This is our dream home, you guys. The moment I looked at this house, I knew there was something about it. I just was like, I really want this house. I remember looking at you and I was like, baby, I really want this house.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay.
It's a lot of house.
It's a lot of house. But it ended up being under our budget. So that's also another cool thing. And now we're just waiting. We're waiting for the repairs to get done. I think another cool thing is that even though this time has been a long time and it's kind of dragged on, we're now into a new season. So by the time we move into the house, it'll be nice and warm and it'll be summery, spring, not cold, rainy. I think it's going to help our mood and give us motivation to get to working on the house.
Yeah.
So
I got a phone call when I was in the shower from our real estate agent.
Okay.
And he had some news. I don't know if it's not good news and it's not bad news. And once again, this is part of it. This is part of buying a home. And I wanted to wait until we were recording so I could tell Michaela
Oh my gosh.
live on camera what the latest update is, because it's another big, it's not like good or bad, but it's big.
What big?
And that's another thing. When it comes to these home buying experience, everything's a big fucking decision. All these things that are happening are $10,000, $20,000 decisions that are happening. Money hasn't moved yet, but the shit's going down.
Okay, what is it?
So the latest thing is that the seller's done repairing. They don't have any more money to repair.
Okay.
And it's not finished. So they've completely fixed the whatever the flood was. Mm-hmm. I am going to have to talk to somebody, your auntie or somebody that we know in real estate, to get more information on foundational leaks and cracks or whatever that means, because they're talking about the foundation a lot. And what they're trying to assure me is that the foundation is good. There's no water damage going to the foundation. They've proved it, but there's no flooring in the basement is now an unfinished basement.
Oh, so there's no flooring or walls?
And there's about 4 up to my hip, they're saying, all the way around the entire basement of no drywall, no walls. So they cut where they have to, 4 feet. So half the wall from half down is bare. There's no flooring, there's no baseboards. There's still an issue with the gutters, which I think is the reason, is like what's causing more flooding to go into the crawl space and other places. And they're done.
They can't fix it.
They don't have any more money to put into the home. So what they're offering me now is a heavy discount. Obviously now if we back out, we're completely good, because it's like, whoa, like obviously we can't, this is not how we found it.
Yeah.
Like now we don't have a finished basement. We're not going to be we're going to have to move in, and the estimate from a real estate agent is about $5,000 to finish the downstairs.
Okay.
And DIY it, we might be able to do it ourselves. So.
And then we're going to get a discount.
I said at least $20,000, and he said, yeah, well, that's the first thing. We'll put down 20, maybe even more down off. So what that also means now is we can roll our closing costs into our loan and pay nothing down. Get our earnest money back even. And then that's something. On top of that, with our mortgage being so low, now our mortgage is going down quite a bit. We have to get everything reassessed. I think they're still trying to figure out, because my question now is, well, now that it's an unfinished basement and there's all these other issues, is an appraiser going to have to go back out there? And is the appraisal going to come back at the same price?
Right.
You know?
Oh my goodness. Well, honestly, from the bat, like, I'd rather still take the house.
Okay.
I still want the house. Okay. We can manage. It's not that much. Like, it's a fixer-upper. Things need to be updated, but I still think there's good bones. I still want it.
Okay. Well, that means that we can't live downstairs.
I know.
It's not livable.
Yeah.
We have to live upstairs first.
We'll just have to clean the shit out of the rooms.
Either we're going to pay somebody to do this, because it's not going to be covered by home warranty. It's not going to be covered by anything.
Yeah.
So either we're going to pay to do this, or we're going to DIY it. If we DIY it, we have the opportunity to change it. I don't understand why. If it was up to me, if I'm being honest, I would take down a whole wall that makes that makes that a bedroom with the front door. If you take that wall down that separates that bedroom from the kitchen, then you just kind of have a big living room and a one bedroom. That will change things when we get it reappraised. So yeah, we'll have to see what's up with that too. But we can probably get it reappraised, and like later on down the line, I don't know. There's a lot to think about. Here's the thing. There's just a lot of shit.
This is that bullshit we're talking about.
Yeah, once one thing happens, it's like a domino effect on everything else that we kind of planned. Our homeowner insurance is going to change because the price is going to go down. You know, the whole loan is going to change because the price is going to go down. We can still close though, and we have the upper hand now if we want to take the home. We also have a clear advantage of breaking away if we wanted to. Mm-hmm. If we close on this home and don't have to put anything down, and it gets factored into our full home loan, like that's a big difference.
And I feel like we'll be able to get that money that we need to make renovations quicker.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, really quick. All I have to do is get any job, and we're like over our means of living. Like, you know what I mean? We make more than our means. Yeah. Which is kind of already what we're doing now. We're doing great right now, living on what we have. So even me just getting a part-time job is like, that's just extra on top of it. So.
And like I just said, we're rolling into summer. So, I mean, I don't mind sleeping under the stars. But you know what I don't know, but you know
what are you talking about?
But like I'm just saying, like the house isn't gonna be for me. The weather really fucks with my mood. So I don't mind being in a house where it's like it's a fixer-upper, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of house, you guys. Like there's a lot of room, there's a lot of things to do, and I don't know, I just feel like it'll be okay.
So you still want to go through?
Yes. Do you?
I mean, I would like to look at the house first.
Okay.
I think before we even say we want to, I mean, off the bat, I want to go down 20K, but what if we go there and it looks worse than we think?
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to go down like 25K, factor the closing costs into the loan, because that's going to bring us back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's a bunch of stuff that's just like, we have to really think about it. I want to, if anything, I'm trying to go like 25K down. Like if they're willing to go 25K, we factor closing costs into our loan, it'll go up another 10. We're really only getting 10K off at that point of our mortgage. So if that's what you want to do.
Do you? After we look at the house, you'll see. You'll make your decision.
I mean, I'm down, but at this point, it's like, are we going to DIY this basement? Are we gonna pay somebody to do it? You know?
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, it's still technically, I guess, a 3-bedroom, just unfinished. Is the appraisal, if we stay in this, is the appraisal going to mess things up? Actually, the appraisal can only lower it, really.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then we just like, we'll go lower than that.
Dang. That's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but I'm not even surprised. Like, I feel like if they gave us that news earlier on in the game, we would have been like, what? But now that we've gone through so fucking much, we're just like, whatever. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is, expecting the worst, unfortunately, and just going with it. And what did I just say? I said that's where we're going to stay while we renovated the upstairs.
Now we can't. So that's what I'm saying. Everything changes. So many things change. But that's still where you want to be.
That's still where I want to be.
All right.
And there's so many other places in the house. Like, if we really wanted to, if we were like, okay, we need to like figure this out, we could stay in the room above the garage. You know what I mean? Or if
I mean, what's wrong with our bedroom?
Exactly.
Our
Our
bedroom's fine. And then the room right next to
fine.
it.
That's where Oski will be.
Chill there until we get things. He would love that.
He would love
I don't even
it.
think there's a door separating it.
And he's there. I think there is, but he's got his own bathroom too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It just needs to be updated, and it's not even like crazy updated. It's just, yeah, older style. But I guess we need to go down there like soon, because my mom gets back on Sunday, and we need to use the car.
Yeah, so we'd have to do it tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah.
I can do it Saturday. Mm-hmm. I can ask if they're willing to let us do that.
Yeah. I guess we'll be seeing you guys on Saturday. We're definitely going to show you, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not surprised that this is happening.
Right.
I think just trying to look for the silver lining. We already got the mold thing back, so there's no mold. And I feel like, I'm hoping that it's ready for us to just, I feel like if we're going to be DIYing it, half of it's already done. You know? Like, they've removed the floors, they've removed up to where it was. Like, you know, now we just have to fix that as opposed to having to go from the beginning.
Yeah. We'll see.
Looks like we got a lot of work to do. But we wanted this, you know? We wanted to video. Now we have things to, like, really vlog about. And
I wonder if that fridge is even still down there. I wonder if those cabinets are still good or if they rotted away. Like, I don't know. We have to see it.
we have to see it. So I guess, yeah, our next thing is going to be seeing it and figuring it out.
There's other houses in Macon.
Yeah.
Or where we're going. You can edit that, but there's other houses where we're going too. So I don't know. I think I think we should think about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why is there so many things wrong with this house? Are all houses going to be like this or what?
Yeah.
And the whole thing about the foundation is something we have to really check, because that's the first thing everyone asks. Was it the foundation?
Yeah.
And if they're saying it is, now they're talking about the foundation now. So if it is a problem with the foundation, we have to understand what it is with the foundation and leaking we need to figure out.
Right. Well, they said it was the water heater, so like it wasn't necessarily.
I don't think that's true now.
Okay.
Because now they're saying that the gutters are causing water to go into the crawl space, which is affecting.
Yeah.
So there's more, like, there's a lot more leaking than we thought.
Right.
If the water tank busted, it also busted with the gutters being messed up, and because he said too, that's like another $2,000 to fix the gutters.
Right.
We're gonna have to extend it, dig some hole, have a better way, because it's just not. It's not. The gutter isn't doing its job. It's not like getting the water out. It's keeping
Right.
it in, and I think that's what's messing with the foundation of the home.
Right.
So if everyone freaks out about the foundation like they have been, like every time I say something about a leak, they're like, is a foundation good?
Yeah.
If this foundation isn't good, we have to understand what that means for us.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. And this is how it happens. We'll be dealing with since we started this whole journey. So we're still here.
This is not how I thought we'd be ending the video. Or that this was gonna happen. I did not think you were like something crazy just happened, and I'm gonna tell you on camera. I did not think that that's what you were gonna say. I didn't think it had anything to do with the house. I want to hop in the car right now and drive down there.
Right? My whole thing is like, what's been the delay? It's been a month. It's been over a month. And from another contractor told me that the job that they explained to us would take about a week. So they're finding more things. I think as the rain came, they found more things. So
See this bullshit?
and a part of me wonders, like, did the basement flood? They buy this home, fix it up real quick, and then resell it, knowing that it was going to flood again? Because why is it so remodeled? I could tell that that's a remodeling that was done by the people who bought it, and not the people who lived there. I'm pretty sure that was a rented home before,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure it had like an apartment unit, like somebody was like renting up that upstairs or some shit. Because people are like, whenever I go to sign up for certain things, it's like, do you live in apartment 3? I'm just like, why would it ask me that? It's 'cause
Right.
At one point, there was an apartment 3 on that land.
Right. All right. Well, I guess we gotta keep looking, or just keep figuring this out. See what we're talking about.
It doesn't end.
So
And then he just told me, I just had a good conversation with our foundation guy. He went out to take a look at it. He said it's not that dramatic, and they can have it fixed up pretty quickly. I'm going to see if the seller is open to that. The house would still be discounted, just sold with the basement not completely finished, but you would have a lifetime guarantee against the water intrusion. That could be another wildcard option there. That would also let the VA be happy about making the loan. That shouldn't be an issue with them. Let me know your thoughts on all that.
okay.
And that's the agent. That's the selling agent.
Yeah.
Going to talk to the seller to see if they're willing to fix the foundation. So there is a foundation issue that needs to
Okay.
be fixed. So that's why I want to talk to your family, because they're the one who asked me about the foundation. So I want to get more information on what that means.
Right.
The whole wild card thing is for us. Basically saying, hey, let the buyers know that there's a lifetime warranty on the water intrusion, which is good.
Right.
My mind goes to like, dang, we haven't even bought this home, and look at all the problems that have been found.
Yeah.
What's left? What's next?
Yeah.
You know, there's brand new homes for the same price. It's not on an acre of land, but it would be like no one ever lived in it, which is not always a good thing. I've seen home inspections on those too, and they could be rough. But there's just a lot. There's like Like we said, all the options become available after one little update.
Yeah.
We can either keep going or we go all the way back to square one. That would be a good game. Instead of life, real estate. Just the process of finding and closing on a home. On a board game where you never win.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I don't know how to feel right now.
Overwhelmed? I'm overwhelmed.
I feel like we should just have a look. I'm not going to put any emotion towards this until we see it for ourselves. I think the next text message we should send him is like being like, okay, well, we're going to go down and have a look.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be there, obviously.
Yeah.
Or somebody does.
Yeah.
Because this state got crazy squatters' rights, so I understand.
So let's just see. I think I want to look at the thing, but I also know that if we do end up getting this house for like on the low, that's gonna be good for us on the other end.
I mean, as long as the Lolo's like 25,
Yeah.
25, maybe even 30K off, then that's a discounted price. These guys have been pretty stern with their prices so far. I really don't see them trying to go down that much.
Right.
But at the same time, I think they're starting to realize that they have a lemon.
Yeah.
The problem is that we are going to have this lemon
Yeah.
if we take it. You know, and we can be working on a million things, and then what if, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what if something else goes out? Then it's like, golly, we can't DIY 4 different projects.
Yeah.
We also can't pay for 4 different projects. Mm-hmm. So,
I guess we'll see.
what are we going to do? Who knows? All I know is I'm still homeless. Unhoused. Couch surfing.
I think we're technically couch surfers.
That counts as being unhoused and homeless. Why you roll your eyes?
Because it's technically right.
It is. How we describe it in my past perfection. So I don't know what to think anymore. I'm like, at first I was like, these are signs from God. And I don't know, is this another sign from God? Is he like, bro, why are you still looking at that house? I done told you the first time to leave it.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't think they're signs from God anymore. I feel like I used to think that, but I think this is just a process of buying an older home. You know, like there's homes that are older, and then there's homes that are newer, and then there's brand new ones. And the one that we are trying to get right now is like on the older side. So I don't know. That's just how I feel. I'm just like, because I remember like the person that told us about Macon anyway, who kind of sold us on the area because there's so many affordable homes. She's had to do a lot of work, you know, which she's chosen to do, but she's had to do a lot of work. My aunts had to do a lot of work to their home too. You know, like they've been in their home for like nearly 10 years, but it did not look like that when they first moved in at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just keeping it open. And I remember my aunt saying that, like, you know, there was a lot of things that she did not like about the home when they first moved in, but they had to compromise. So
Those
we'll
cosmetic
see.
Things,
Yeah,
too. They weren't like
it wasn't like the foundation and
foundational
stuff.
things, so
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
okay, well, I didn't know about that information until right now, so I don't really know what to say.
You done?
Yeah, what else is there to say?
I don't know. You don't have to get an attitude with me just because you don't feel good anymore.
I'm not getting an attitude with you. I'm just like, you've had time to think about this. You know what I mean? I'm literally just now knowing about it.
Okay. Should I stop this now?
I guess, well, we have to sign out.
Do we? Well, how do we sign out?
Because it's going to be hard for me to, edit if I'm just, well, not hard, but... All right, we'll see you guys at the house and see what the basement's looking like.
See you soon.